What's good, superstars? Back with another VV video. You got Superstar Joe. You got Superstar Rob in the building. How's it going, Rob?
Pretty good. You?
Oh man, got so much extra energy, like 3 weeks of energy just stuck in the fists here. But that was a good timing, like the reaction. But anyway, guys, if you're new here, do not forget, become a superstar. Smash the subscribe button down below, hit the bell notification. You know whenever we post about your favorite project. If it's VV, you're gonna love this one. You can also become a superstar VIP. $2.99 a month. Hit the join button under the video. Get one of those stars next to him. Level up through the stars. Get into those giveaways every single month. We do giveaways this year, 2025. We're changing it up. January giveaways are going to be coming. Hashtag soon. We've been working on stuff. We don't just disappear for 3 weeks. We've been working on stuff, all right? It was a nice refresher, but we're back and we got some spicy content here. Follow us on X, follow us on Instagram, join the Discord. Discord's still live, active, lots of chatter in there, all the projects coming together to make this space great. Great ideas in there. And hopefully this idea is something you guys talk about in there as well. Rob, how's it going?
Yeah, it's going great. I mean, we had our little hiatus there, but we're back in business. And I think that this is a great video to start off is marketing, because this has been a topic that we have been talking about now, I think, for a number of years. And there's one video in particular that stands out. It's one of my favorite videos, actually, in hindsight. And it was titled Veve's Marketing Masterclass on how not to promote your product. And this video came to mind because a friend, the Frog, Jesse the Frog, did a post talking about VV marketing. Now, Jess came on I did a video with Jess when he came on our channel. I think during that time we did a collaboration and we had a great chat. And honestly, I don't remember if marketing came up, but we had a great chat about VV. And he put in some serious time on this tweet. He put a very lengthy, detailed tweet, and he criticized the marketing of VV in its current state and also reflected on the number of years that have gone by. So, Joe, I don't know if you want to take it from here since it's on your screen.
Yeah, I mean, it was basically questioning about where the marketing's been, what were we paying for with the marketing manager and all that stuff in the past. Not necessarily that we were paying them, but that VV was paying them. And then Johnny Dunn, a lot of love, Johnny Dunn, says he's going to make it boom again, but ... What does that mean? Johnny Dunn, we need answers. You need to make a video. You need to let us know how to make it boom. We have some ideas. We're going to talk about those ideas actually in this video, because we always love to present ideas and feedback and constructive criticism whenever we talk about something that might be a shortcoming on any project. So anyway, Johnny Dunn says this comment. Jess the Frog's like, honestly, you helped a lot in the past. You did better than the outside marketing provider than the people working for them. And he tags Alex G again, obviously the previous marketing manager. And Alex couldn't help himself jumping in here and says, all respect to Johnny Dunn, but it's 2025 and you're tagging me more than once in this is wild. I get you're frustrated with them being VV, but the fact is that little has changed almost a year later should tell you something. So he's been gone almost a year. You're kind of getting a little bit of a timeline here now, because until our AMA, we didn't even know that he was gone officially. But now, in around a little bit, almost a year, and he's saying that nothing has changed since then. So what does that mean? Does that mean that VV doesn't have a marketing budget? Does it say that he was working with nothing, trying to make it marketable? What is happening in the background? What could they possibly do to make it better and help push the product? Because right now we're seeing some Facebook ads, some Instagram ads, and a little bit of that stuff, but nothing really pushing the needle, bringing in new users. We saw Blackpink. That was a fail. How are we going to bring in new users, Rob? What are things that we can be seeing here? And what do you think about these comments?
Well, first of all, when we did this video back then, it says 1 year ago, but the exact date on this was April 21st, 2023. So it was quite some time ago. And we already knew back then that VV was not really pushing with marketing. And we speculated at the time that they were doing great on sales. Maybe they didn't really care too much about spending on marketing because they felt that based on their current state of their company and the growth that they wanted to do, why market if your product isn't where you want it to be yet? The user base that's here right now is in excess. Let them continue to buy. They kind of boomed more than they can handle at the beginning in terms of scalability. So don't market and just collect revenue. But now we're entering into a period where it's 2025. And we can see around the space right now that the appetite for digital collecting is very niche. And really, there's not that many people that are going to be totally gung-ho about digital collecting. The masses are not really that interested in digital collecting. I mean, even collecting in general is still a niche in the real world. I mean, think about how many people you know that are just big collectors of anything physical. Now go another layer to the digital realm, something even newer, and it's even harder to find. So there's Veve's in this weird area now where they need to tap into a market which is extremely small and niche. And how exactly do you do that? I don't know if necessarily Facebook ads are going to do it. Like the machine gun approach of just saying, I'm going to throw out some ads and see if people buy. I don't think it's going to work. I think they got to be way more targeted with it. And I think that Veve's marketing needs to be through the way that we found Veve, which was an official Disney tweet on the Disney Twitter that said, check this out, Disney Golden Moments on Veve. Go to Veve, download the app, and you can buy it. And they had some Disney Plus memberships associated with that. And that was something that was an extremely effective growth marketing in that spot, in that time period, because a lot of people wanted to find NFTs at the time, and Disney made it legitimate by tweeting it. They made it everybody understand, oh, this isn't a scam. This is licensed IP. We're Disney and we're on board with this, and we're going to tweet it on our official account. So I think Veve needs to look for those marketing opportunities rather than just like blanket ads, or even going to physical events. We're going to use physical events, but like going to like decon and stuff is good. But I think the best way is to go straight to the licensors and get the licensors on board. What do you think, Joe?
I think it's a little bit more even beyond that, because like you mentioned, this is a niche space. This is something that is not going to change overnight. It's something that requires education. It requires a complete overhaul of the general public's thoughts on NFTs and on digital. So yes, during NFT boom and NFT hype, a Disney tweet came out there and everyone was like, wow, I want to jump on this. It legitimized it. It gave trust where there was no trust. I mean, if anybody saw something from Veve before that, you're taking a risk. It was like a meme coin at that point. You're trying to put money into something, the lottery ticket, trying to figure it out. Disney saying, no, we're behind this. That was a big deal. That was actually the linchpin for us. Like we saw it on Andre Jick, we saw it on these other channels, but once Disney talked about it, you're like, okay, this is actually something that they back. Now we did see something similar when they did put out Instagram posts with Blackpink, and it didn't go as far. There wasn't that education process. There wasn't really a benefit to the people who they were targeting to purchasing these collectibles. We can go on and on about utility. We've done it for 3 years, and say how you need to have a purpose for this technology in order for it to become mainstream, in order for it to become something that people want to buy. If you want this to be in everybody's home, or in a majority of people's homes, where people are aware of the name Veve, aware of digital collecting, and have purpose, then you need to have a reason for that purpose. So I think the way that this moves forward, and maybe the only way that it could move forward at this time, is to have some kind of use case and marketing with said large IP. So let's throw Disney out there, say, because we're familiar with them and they've done it before. Say Disney goes and tweets it out again. Early on, they did that collaboration with the Disney Plus. They said, okay, you buy these things, you can have a chance to get free Disney Plus. It was a kind of a marketing for them as well, because they wanted people to jump on Disney Plus. Disney's not just going to tweet for you just because they want to. They don't do it for anybody. Look at like any of their toys or anything that they put out in stores. They don't really tweet any of that stuff. So, I mean, even Disney Pinnacle, I don't think they've even tweeted that, and that's like the only brand on that NFT platform. So you have to give them a reason to tweet if you're gonna expect these big brands to tweet. So if you're able to figure out a way to benefit Disney beyond the licensing fee, because obviously that's not enough at this point if you're not seeing any of these other things being promoted, you got to use the technology, figure out a way to make it worth Disney's while, or make it worth these other IPs while. Present it to them, say like, guys, this will really help you. This is a great idea. This is how we move the entire technology forward. Never mind just the product or your drop. This is how we move the entire technology forward. Convince those people. You have those connections. You have those meetings with Disney personnel. Convince them that they need to promote this. Don't just ask them to promote it. Don't just say, oh, we'll give you $100,000 to put a tweet, so whatever, however much it costs. Like, give them a reason and make them think and sit on it and figure it out, because utility drives this space, and without utility, we continue to capitulate here. Overall in the space, we've seen projects closing like crazy who have maybe minor gamification, little things here and there. I mean, Veve, you're the biggest. You have the best chance here at convincing some of these major brands. Hopefully we see something like that soon, because I think that's really the only way.
Well, we knew from the past that to Disney, Veve is their marketing, right? So like these digital collectibles to Veve, it's like, okay, we're going to let you pay us. Like Veve pays for the license, presumably, right? They pay for a license to use the likeness of the digital collectibles and then of Disney's brand. And in Disney's mind, their benefit is, well, by you just simply doing this, okay, you're going to make your money, we're going to get royalties, but you're like our marketing as well. Like you're marketing our brands by doing digital collectibles. So there has to be a way to find some kind of incentive for Disney beyond the money, because I don't think the money of the royalties is really that much for Disney to even care. It has to be something, I think, associated with their physical products. Disney Plus was a great example. Like that, I think, was super effective with the golden moments. Maybe they can do more of that. I don't know how they came to that conclusion. I don't know how much it cost, but maybe they could find more ways to do that with that. And then also then extend that to other licenses, because other licenses may be a lot easier. Like Disney is like the Disney. Like that's like if you pull that off, you're good to go. But it'd be good to also get some more utility with some of the other licensors. Like sometimes the cars, right? Lamborghini, you know, it's a little bit different than Disney. I think that the fan base is there, but is there any kind of utility that you can do with the digital so that if someone's interacting with Veve, somehow, some way, can it extend, you know, into Lamborghini's benefit? Like if you walk into one of their stores, like, I mean, this is a high-end kind of store, right? So it maybe it's not going to work that way, but is there something that you can do that some person out there gets some benefit from buying these collectibles and the licensors on board and they see that as a marketing stunt for them?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen them start to test it out. I mean, if you remember that penny black stamp drop they did, where they delivered a physical stamp to people who landed that. I mean, people who are into stamp collecting, into that brand there, they would be happy to maybe join the app, because that might be something that they want to collect, something very cherished. A little bit with the comics here and there. I feel like comic book collecting is not as big as the Veve fam thinks. That's a hot take, but like everybody in Veve is into comics now because they collect the digital comics. The collectors who, whatever, like in general, you go talk to 25 people on the street, how many of them are going to have a comic book collection? And a lot of us here do, but how many like general public do have a comic book collection? So I feel like that's something also very, very niche that we're trying to jump on into. And you got to remember, like, people put their fortunes into those collections, and now to have that disrupted by something new, obviously their taste for that's not going to be there, because they want their things that they are holding to be worth the most. They don't want to really share that piece of the pie.
Didn't we look up once that like there's only like 100,000 comic book collectors? Like
it's something like that. Yeah, it was like something like that.
It's like something super small, but it seems big, because if you go to the D-Cons, you go to Comic Cons, you see that group there.
Yeah,
and we met some of them. They're diehards. We met some of them, and some of them weren't too fond of the whole digital aspect. They thought it was the stupidest thing ever. But I think there was definitely pros and cons to both. Like obviously a physical copy, it tarnishes. There's a lot of benefits to that. But then the digital side too, there's benefits. The only way I think to tap into those markets is you got to go through the licensors, and maybe you can pick up some new people, because in the end, what is Veve? Veve is a digital collecting company. So like you can't really do much with that. You can't be like, we're a game and then go to the gaming community, right? Maybe the Veveverse is going to give a whole new metaverse aspect that they can go to the metaverse community, because there's people who spend time in those. We'll have to wait and see. But as it exists right now, I think the opportunities are super limited. They got to go to those licensors and be like, look, here's collectibles. This is your benefit from your marketing perspective. Let's work together on your Twitter account and your socials, and together it can help grow your product. It's going to have to be some of that, and then Veve can ride on those curtails. Have
some kind of initiative, figure it out. Start small. Obviously, Disney's not going to be the first licensor that you get to, but like you did the penny black, now maybe start doing it. Start to scale it up and start to be creative with those licensors that are open to it, make it a standard thing, and then start to show it off to the bigger licensors and be like, look what we're doing with all these guys. This is something that's working. It's helping those drops sell. Lots of interest is coming. And those people are getting lots of benefits from owning our collectibles. So, I mean, if it's something that works both ways, I'm sure any licensor would be happy to have extra marketing benefit. But right now, if it's marketing benefit to 1,000 people, is Disney going to care? You know what I mean? So you got to scale it up. But the way you do that is to have these interactive community gatherings. It's like our Discord. Our Discord is an interactive hub of all different projects where people come and talk and meet and learn about new projects. I mean, all different fans of IP might become learning about other IP and get their eyes open to something else, like Veve did for a lot of people when it comes to comics. Going back to that, I mean, a lot of us who are on this app now never collected a comic in our life. Because we joined Veve, started to look into comic books. Now we start to think. So they did a lot of marketing for Marvel, if you look at it that way, right? So, I mean, it's something that I think you start to do things where you interest niche crowds, and then they start to come in and start to look at other things. And then you start to build up that, with that marketing of those products, to start to build up that repertoire and that reputation of success. And then that's something you sell to your bigger licensors. And hopefully that's when this whole digital thing goes, because this type of marketing that you need to pump this product, we said at the beginning, it's not going to work on Facebook ads, it's not going to work on Instagram ads. It needs to be like game changing. And that's going to require like game changing money to put that out there to people who are obsessed with big IPs. The little IPs, sure, it's going to help you build that idea, proof of concept. But the big IPs, in order to do that, that's big money.
One more thing. Oh, 1 second. One more thing I want to get off my chest here, Joe.
Yep.
You know, when we put this video out, Veve's marketing masterclass on how not to promote your product on April 21st, 2023. You know, speaking of Alex G, he actually DM'd us after seeing this video. And, you know, he noted that because he made a statement that he would not come on our channel. And he maybe saw this video as us retaliating, but we never actually cared to retaliate. We don't do that. We're not retaliating to Alex G for not coming on our channel. We did this because we thought that Veve did a really good job on how not to promote your product. That's why we did the video. So, you know, based on the tweet that you just showed with the frog, just the frog, based on what Alex said, clearly this video stands the test of time, that it was valid after, in hindsight, right? It's 2020. It's crystal clear that this was valid back then and it's still valid today. So I just want to just remind everybody that just because we put out a video with a title you may not like at the time, many times later on, it ends up being that title was actually something that maybe you shouldn't have been upset about, but you should have just thought about and considered, because this isn't one of those times where you look back in hindsight and you're like, you know what, maybe they could have done a better job marketing back when they were hot and there was a lot of users and there was a lot of revenue coming in compared to today. So again, there was no retaliation here. I know sometimes community members have talked about us and we've done retaliatory videos, but definitely this is not one of those. This was never intended to be that. This was intended to be our opinion on marketing of Veve at the time. So I want to get that off my chest, Joe. Now, everybody, make sure before you go, you let us know in the comments below, what do you guys think? Do you guys think that Veve is a marketing masterclass on how not to promote your product? Do you think that they could do better if they start associating with licensed IPs? What's your solution to this? How can they market it in a way to grow the app? That was our thoughts today in today's video. Let us know in the comments below. And if you haven't already, don't forget, become a superstar, smash the subscribe button, join the superstar fam, hit the bell notification button so you get videos a couple times a week. Also, guys, thank you so much to our VIPs for all your support. Everyone, take care. See you next one. Bye-bye.
Love you.